Hello everyone and welcome back to the 28th part tutorial of how to model a basketball court arena, where we will continue with our basketball hoop. So this time I think that it's important for me to tell you that whatever we're gonna do now is deserves a little bit more focus, because as much that I'm trying to build here something that for me it's like a little bit more easier for me to obtain what I'm doing because I know what I'm going to do. But for you, it will be hard to really focus on which part I'm dealing with in the model. So just try to really understand where is my camera when I'm taking a look on some objects. Sometimes I will zoom in too much, sometimes I will do things from far away, and for some reasons like selecting edges will be a little bit problematic for me in some zoom aspects, and therefore I can't really assure that you will understand in which parts I'm dealing with on the model. So what we're gonna do right now, we're gonna start building up our main backstop board. And this part, even if it looks like very easy thing to do, I'm trying to add more details. So therefore, trying to build this as much as accurate to the reference pictures. So it's also really important uh, in which stage of the process we will add edge loops and stuff like this. So again, really try to understand what I'm doing, because it can be a little bit hard on me to walk you through the entire things if you are not really understanding the hierarchy of when adding edge loops, supporting edge loops, and where you should get rid of some of them and then bring them back. I don't know, some things are just a little bit tough on me to explain through the process. It will be a very long parted part, at least this part, and few next will be, I mean, like this part will be probably I don't know, like three parts just to build up this thing. So yeah, so because it's going to be that long, let's start. Anyway, we're gonna deal with the backstop. So I'm gonna isolate this part, okay, and I'm gonna open a reference picture of this because I want to show you few things and point few things to you. So I'm zooming in here, and as you can see from this picture, the main frame here is from here. As you look at this, it's very thin. It's very thin, and it shows that there is nothing in between this area here that hold this arm here and the glass and this inner frame there. So it's hollow, and it's not entirely hollow to the entire shape. I mean, here this part is still hollow from the inside. It's just thin metal that goes through here and beveled here in this area. But this area here basically is like one solid frame. Okay, so if I will open other reference pictures, you will see this better. Let's take a look on this, I think. Okay, this picture here. So you can see this not hollow. You still have thin solid frame here, but if you take a look here on this angle, I mean this area, you will see this black strip there. So basically that means that here it's hollow, it's not solid as here. Okay, and this goes also through here, this part. It's like another I don't know, something that holds this frame here. It's not really holding this frame, though it does connect it to the frame, and it's just some part that you can assemble this arm here. So still yet it's hollow from the inside, and yeah, pretty much this. So We have few more things here that we need to create. I mean, you need to consider that there is some thickness to the glass, and as well as this part here where all this shock resistant mechanism is attached. We need to leave some space here in order to assemble this part and build it up. So it's gonna be a little bit tough on me to create this. I'm gonna consider a lot of manipulation about how edge loops will be given to this main frame in order to make things just as they should be. Anyway, I'm gonna unisolate this just so I can understand where is the back. Okay, and this is the back, so we're gonna start it that way. So first thing, hold pick an edge and just control right click edge ring utilities to edge ring and split. We're gonna do the same over here, control right click edge ring utilities to edge ring and split over this edge that we selected here. Now with that done, I'm gonna go over mesh tools and I'm gonna choose offset edge loop, and I want to add one edge loop here that way. I want to be very close to the other ones. I will zoom in so you can see it. Okay, this is how much that way, and I want to add one more on top of this one, and I want the frame, I mean it's going to be a frame, so you see I want this to be an even cube here. This will tell me that this frame are evens. So I'm gonna undo whatever I did. I try to add it a little bit better, or simply you can use the construction history in order to set this a little bit more as you prefer. So you see I need to bring it a little bit more up. So what I will do, I press F8, bring it back to object mode, select the selection tool, select the object, go to the history construction, open up the duplicate edge 5. This is the offset edge loop that we just added, and you can here set this to about 85. Okay, or sorry, let's add a little bit more, 95. No, that's too much. Let's 90. Okay, something is weird here. I think I will simply grab this middle mouse. Whoa. No, 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 sorry. I'm really sorry about that. I will undo whatever I did. Bring it back. So if it's 92, this should be 94. 3 maybe. Yeah, 3 it's okay. At least for my model. I don't know what's going on your model, but make sure that you have a even cube here. Something like even cube, that will be great. Uh, with that done, we're gonna add two more edge loops here. I'm gonna add edge here, control right click, edge ring utilities to edge ring and split, and do the same offset edge loop. Click here, hold, and drag. Now this one shouldn't be something related to the other one, but if you, okay, I need to make another point here. Every time that I'm trying to add edge loops, it will depend on which edge I'm relaying it on, and then sometimes my mouse doesn't have enough space to adjust it as I like. I mean, there is some limits, so you need to play with it and see how it works out for you. So after I've done this, basically what I will do, I'm gonna add two edge loops, about so. I mean, sorry, let's switch from offset edge loop and create just a regular edge loop. So shift right click, insert edge loop options. I want to make sure that I'm resetting this tool because I'm gonna work a lot with it at this part. So I'm positioning one edge here for very obvious reason. This should be where the frame, the solid frame is, and maybe, you know what, just a little bit higher that way. Okay, now with that done, I'm gonna add one more edge loop beneath it that way. So I'm building all those edges as frames. I always need to make sure that I have frames here, and this will help me later on. So now you're gonna grab these four faces, okay? And I want you to extrude them inside. Now the problem that comes with relaying, edges like that. I will explain this right now. Just let me do whatever I need to do. I'm gonna extrude this, right? And I'm gonna extrude it inwards. Okay, that way. Now it's picking from the other side, and that's good because I can see where is. I mean, if I bring it back, I can see somewhat the thickness, like understanding how the thicknesses work out through me in that matters. So maybe I will add a little bit more thickness to this that way. Now, if I will bring X-ray in to work, you would see what the thickness is. Okay, it's really thin right now, and I prefer to keep it thin. I mean, I don't want to have a very thick glass door, but this should be it. So let's have a look from the side view. Maybe it will be easier for you to understand. Side view and zoom in. Okay, so you see this edge here, this one here. This one is the inner part that we just extruded. So this is the thickness that we have. Now the problem with this is that we need to have edges according to this. I mean, whenever you extrude something and it's not, let me turn off X-ray and explain. Whenever you have edge here, like, okay, you don't have anything that goes through the outside, and you always need to make sure that you do have this. Okay, so we can either relay on this one, okay, as determining our thickness of the glass. I mean, this part, this face is from this face. I mean, this is the thickness will be, but right now I don't want to relay on this. I need a little bit more thickness. So what I will do, I will add one edge loop, because we have one edge loop here inside. I mean, this one, the inner edge, we need to have another one for it from the outside. Okay, so I'm gonna switch back to side view that way. I'm gonna bring it back up here so you can see it. You see, it doesn't go through here. That means that this edge is the one that we extruded. So I'm gonna shift right click, insert edge loop, and I'm gonna add edge loop on top of this edge. Okay, so that way I know that this is the outer one, and this edge will be exactly at the same point where the inner edge goes. So now I have this one. I will create another one here next to it that way. So this one will be the supporting edge loop from the inner part. I'm trying to make sure that I have the same amount of edges that I need to have. So if it was like a polygon cylinder cylinder pipe, so from the inner and from the inner pipe and from the outside circle, it will be the same amount of edges. So let's add another edge here. Okay, so it goes through the entire shape here, looped. I'm gonna switch to side view. Side view. Shift right click, slide edge tool, middle mouse button, and I want to make sure that this edge is on top of this one. Okay, the second one that we added from the outer side. Okay, this is gonna be a little bit tricky. I will do this in steps, slide it a little bit, release, slide it a little bit more until it meets. I can't really explain how important it is to do things such as this, because later on you will come into this situation where you will need to have this outside edges that is, it's like, I don't know, a connection point to whatever goes inside that extruded. So anyway, just bear in mind that this is what you need to do. Now the next thing is I need to make this thick, thin frame on the sides, right? Here, from here, that goes there. I will open my picture to just let you know what I'm talking about. So you see this area, this piece of metal is going through down here, and it looks like it's frame, it's part of it. I mean, it does part of it, but it's not solid as this part. Okay, so we're gonna do the same here. Um, First of all, let's add edge loop. So I'm adding edge loop exactly here, that way. Okay, and this is the time where we will get rid of half cut of our um, model. So I'm gonna delete this half cut, and remember that we will always delete this half cut and not this one. Okay, we will work on this one, and whenever we will choose to mirror this, or you will choose to mirror this, just to not, you know, confuse ourselves, just remember that you will always need to this one to delete. Okay, let's continue with this. So we created this, and that's all good. Now let's say I want to create uh, this thing here, this frame here. So I want to have one more edge loop here at this area. This edge, the main idea of this edge is to make sure that this is where this face will be extruded until here. Okay, so what I want to do here is grab the selection tool, right click, choose face. I want to delete this one. Okay, this face here. So there I can extrude this face over here without overlapping this face that's been here. But before we will do this, I also want to make sure that I set the height of this profile. So if you take a look on the picture, you can see that it doesn't go through the whole frame, right? There is space here in between, and then there is another part of metal here, and then again space, a little space between this and this. Okay, so this is the height. So if you take a look on this main backboard, let's say that this is where the middle here. Okay, this is the middle of our backboard, and this goes just a little bit above the middle. So this is what we will do. If this is the middle, we need to set another edge loop at really much here. Okay, this will be our main edge loop. Now, before we will do this, before we will extrude this, so we need to extrude those two faces as well, like there were one unit. We want to make sure that we have one more edge loop, at least here at this part, okay, next to it. And this is just for, you know, later on, I don't know, some things deserves at least two to make sure that we won't make mistakes. And double click on this middle one and just simply delete it. Okay, we don't need it anymore. We're gonna grab this face, as I told you, and you see it's very tiny to look at this from here, but I need to work, so I need to zoom out. But this is the face that I chose, and I'm gonna extrude it, and the gizmo is there. So what I will do is switch to move tool, hold down the V key, and push this. Okay, using the V key I'm pushing it and snapping it exactly to this point here. Okay, now this is where things a little bit get messed up, so I will explain. um, we have this, right, and this is snapped to here, and that's all good. Now I press F8 and I want to show you something here. If I would to um, use the X-ray right now, shading X-ray, you would see that even that I got rid of that face earlier, there is a new face there. Okay, this face is here, this one. Okay, now if you can pick it, that means that it's there. Okay, if you can select it. Now this face shouldn't be here because this old shape, if I'll zoom, there's there should be nothing there. It should be hello, and that's why I'm telling you that we need to delete this. So press delete on your keyboard to delete this part. And now we will be able to connect this. Now the problem is that when we will connect this, we will face another issue. Now this is really a part when I'm saying to you, listen carefully and try to understand whatever I am doing here, because it's not I don't know, it's not like guarantee that you will succeed on doing this if you are not really understanding why I'm doing things in that way. So I can now connect those, right? I can come and connect those vertices that are open here. So if I will select any vertex here, this one or this one, you can see that there is open gap here. It's still open. I need to firm this. I need to weld those vertices into each other. And before I'm doing this, I want you to take in mind, think of this. If this object, for some reason, I don't know, you choose to apply smooth preview to it, what will happen is that you will need edge loops to support this area. You will need one edge loop here and one edge loop from this side, right? We're always adding two to support one. So if I'm going to add one edge loop here, while these three connected, so what will happen is that I won't be able to cover the outside area shell of this model and the inner shell, okay, the inner faces. Let me simply show you what I mean. I'm gonna grab those vertices. First of all, I do need to firm them. So let's merge them, merge components. They've been merged, everything is okay, seems okay, right? And now if I press 3, this is what will happen. But I want to make it sharp. I don't want the smooth preview to make my shape look like this, right? So I press 1, bring it back to object mode. Now I will simply do whatever I always do. I'm adding one edge loop here, and that's all good, right? And now I'm adding one more edge loop here, and that's all good, right? Now, for this part, for this area, that's all good. Now, the main reason for this is because the loop of this edge can go now from here, I mean from the top, and then tunnel back downwards over here, I mean that line, and go through the entire shape like so and appear here. Okay, now this is very close to each other, so I really need to zoom in and show you this. So by now everything is okay, so there is nothing to worry about here. I was worried a little bit, so right now I'm not worried, so everything is fine. Now this area has been you know, I added the supporting edge loops. Now I have this edge that already support this edge, but I need another one to support this area so it won't get smooth also. So I'm gonna add one edge that way. Now always that you want to add more edge loops, supporting edge loops, you need to make sure that it always go through the entire shape, from the inner part and to the rest of the outside part, okay? Always make sure that you have a perfect loop. It can't be a perfect loop because this area is open, but whenever we will mirror this and patch this, this will be a perfect loop, okay? And that all will be good. Now I'm gonna add one more edge over here at the top. I need this area to be sharp, so I'm gonna add one edge loop here. Now I don't need to add another edge loop up because it's already there, okay? We already set this one. I'm gonna press 3 and this is what should happen, okay? Everything here is sharp, everything here is sharp except this area here. Okay, so this time we will need to add one more edge loop over here and that's cool. Press 3. We have rounded areas here. We may need to add 2 more edge loops, one here and one there, right? As well as maybe other sides. No, that's okay for now. For now, it's okay. I'm not adding when I don't need to add those supporting edge loops, just whenever I feel it's safe to add them. So now for the tricky part here. Uh, there is a wind here. Let me first pause for a second. Sorry about it. Okay, I'm back. Just uh, decided to light myself a cigarette. So anyway, let's see. So we've added this edge, and if I will press 3, all smooth and look good. And I will explain something as well. We will need to add more 2 edge loops here, this part, and let's see. Well, later on I will probably add more, but right now I want to show you something. Let's open the reference picture. You see, we have this beveled area here, and if I will open other picture, let's say the front, you can see it better. See this area, this triangle here. Okay, so it looks like it's firmed, or it looks like it's, I don't know, just triangle that's been patched there in some very weird way. I mean, uh, if you would have to take a look on other pictures that I have here, you can obviously see, uh, well, it looks like it's part of the, I mean, it's welded very good into this part. But for some reason I have this feeling that it's not. I mean, it's not like one solid part. How to explain this better? I don't know. Here, some areas here, it doesn't look like it is, but maybe it is. Anyway, we're gonna need to make this. Okay, we need to make this area beveled. Now, I can't really bevel this area. The problem that I'm facing right now is I already added my edges. You see here, this edge and this edge. So as for now, what I've done is basically a mistake. I created an edges whenever I didn't need them at this time, right? And that's all good. I mean, we can grab those 2 edges, double click on this one, shift double click on, sorry, on this one. Let me unselect whatever I just been selected, this edge here, and I can shift right click delete edge. Okay, now I can also do this for this one, so shift right click delete edge. So what you think is maybe I go over and grab this one, shift right click and bevel this edge. Now this will simply create this weird kind of stuff. Now what bothers me with beveling basically is whenever you have some extra edges, and this is why I removed the other edges, you just basically relay and give some borders to the bevel function to relay on. So the bevel function knows that there are other edges here around this area, so it will only give you a very limited space to scale the offset. Okay, each bevel, every time you create a bevel, you beveling an edge, you have this offset feature that you need to tweak to, for whatever purpose you need. You need a little bit more bevel, so you can tweak the offset and spread the offset. Anyway, um, this time it's basically not really applying to this because we have this edge here, and this edge basically sums it up. Uh, we have edge here, and this edge will always tell the bevel not to go as we want. I'm gonna give you just a quick example. I'm gonna unisolate this for a second, so I will be able to create a cube and see it, because on isolation mode I won't be able to see it. So I'm creating a cube and immediately scaling this up. Now I can pick both of them, and isolate this. And I'm gonna bring only the cube up here so we can see what I'm talking about. Now you should create a cube as well because we need it anyway. So um, if I will take this edge, okay, for instance, and I'm gonna shift right click bevel edge, okay, so what happened is that the edge, the offset of it is like in the middle of our cube, you see. If just imagine that you have a one edge here and one edge here, it's like the middle of this cube, okay, and it's creating those two extra edges according to this middle and this middle, okay. So you can come to the attribute editor and choose, if not, sorry, where is the attribute editor? Okay, something is just, yeah, this one. Oh, yeah, you need to be on object mode. So polybevel tab, and you see this is 0.5. It means that whatever you create this, I don't know why it happened. Polybevel, okay, friction is 0.5. So you can change it. Basically, it was called offset. I'm not sure why now it's friction, but basically maybe, I don't know. Anyway, 0.5. So I can't really do this same thing over here. I mean, if I would try to change the friction here by beveling it, let's see, beveling it, okay, change the friction, nothing happens. It stays the same, okay? It's just can't move any more than what it is. But with the cube, there is nothing that hold this bevel friction to spread a little bit more, okay? Now, I'm gonna undo that, and I'm gonna add those edges, so you will be able to understand this better. I'm gonna add one edge loop here and one edge loop here. So basically, those are telling the friction of the bevel not to, uh, it's just giving some borders to this bevel. So I'm gonna bevel this again, and you can see that again it does the same thing. It takes it takes the one and cut it into half, like creating one edge here in the middle and one edge here in the middle. So it's always something that bothers the bevel and keeps it away of making what it should do. So anyway, I'm gonna bring it back to object mode, undo whatever I did, and therefore this is what we're gonna do. Um, I'm gonna right click choose face and I'm gonna delete all those faces and keep only one face here. With this face, you can go, you can, okay, you can either go over multicut tool and click here at this point, click on this point, right click to close this, and that's all good. Though I prefer to do this that way because I need it that way. Okay, press F8 to bring it back to object mode. Now, there is another way to do so, so you can like, I don't know, grab this edge, control right click to edge ring utilities to edge ring and split, and then right click choose this, right click choose this edge, and you can go over mesh, no, well, it's, if you're using Maya 2014, it should be somewhere here, spin edge backwards, okay, or forward, I don't know, backwards or inwards. Let's see, forward, yeah, backwards and forward. So simply the same. Just grab this, delete it, press F8, and we will have this thing. Now this will help us to determine where we will need to add the connection edges here. I mean, take a look at this corner, this vertex. This will be connected somewhere here, so we need some edges to connect this to. And also here. So grab this, modify center pivot for it first, switch to move tool. This is where your pivot will be. What I want you to do is hold down the D key, D as drum, and V as value or victory, and middle mouse, well, hold them both together, and middle mouse button, click, hold, and drag it to this vertex point, and release both of them. Now, it will be easier for you to bring this to the same vertex point here at the corner. So hold on the V key, middle mouse button on this circle and point to this area here. We will zoom in and refine this. If it's not, well, it's there, so that's good. It's there. So you see, this is exactly how it should be. Now, the cool thing about this, because we changed the pivot to this corner here, you can simply switch to scale tool and scale it up or down and decide how this will be. I mean, big or bigger or tinier, I don't know. Let's say this is more than enough, something like so. Okay. Now, with that in mind, I'm gonna press F8, bring it back to object mode, and leave it there. Okay. We're gonna add edge loops according to those corner ones. So I'm gonna add shift right click, insert edge loop. I'm gonna add one edge loop. Well, let's use the side view or the front view. I don't know, whatever will look good. Okay, let's take a look here. And let's shading wireframe unshaded so I will see this better. And I will add one edge loop here. So you see I'm meeting this corner here and one here. Doesn't have to be precise. Well, try to do this precisely that way. So now we have this, okay, and I'm gonna switch back to perspective view, press F8 to bring it back to object mode, and I'm gonna grab this, Control D to duplicate it. I wanna move it outside, and I wanna delete this. Oh, just simply move it outside, don't duplicate it. So now what we will do is we're gonna hold this face and this face, and we wanna delete them. But before that, after you delete them, right after before you delete them, you're gonna add two more edge loops. One here to the left of this, and one here just a little bit up above this. Okay. Again, I'm making edge loops just to have borders to my smooth preview. So whenever I will smooth preview this, this supporting edge will be the border of how much the other one can slide upwards. Okay, so it's just making it sharp. This is basically what it does. You want to grab this edge. Oh, sorry. You want to add one more edge loop for each side. So I'm going to add one edge loop. Sorry, I'm going to add one edge loop here, I think. Okay, let's do it and see. And one here. Okay, so we have three. So one on top of each other, that way. As long that we have this one is where the empty area is beginning. I'm gonna grab this and I want to extrude this. I'm gonna extrude this, hold down the V key and snap it there. Okay, now I'm not sure where it is right now, but it doesn't really matter. All I need to do now, still switch to move tool, hold down the V key and snap it downwards. If it's connecting to the first one here from the right side, that's good. So you see we have this triangle there. That's all good. Now I'm gonna right click, choose vertices. And I'm gonna select these two vertices here and those two. Okay? See, that way. Don't choose anything else beside them and go over mesh, edit mesh, sorry, merge component, or merge if you are using Maya 2014. Now that we've done this, we can right click, choose edge, double click on this edge, and this will select the entire shape here that way. So, oh yeah, this is where I was wrong. This is where I was wrong. And that's good. That's okay. Let's first grab. Let's first. Well, I'm not wrong. That's fine. That's fine. I was wrong about something else. Anyway, remember I told you to add two edge loops. I'm gonna delete this edge, the third one, and the third one from here. Shift right click, delete edge. I'm gonna add, before I'm gonna complete this, I wanna add two more edge loops beneath, okay, before I will fill this all. So I'm gonna add one edge loop exactly here, leave some space in between them, okay? And I'm gonna add one more edge loop here. Try to be accurate with what you're doing. I mean, this one and this one and this one and this one. Now we're gonna click on edge, sorry, select edge, double click on this edge, go over mesh, fill hole. Okay, fill this up. Now I want you to go over mesh, sorry, go to the other side, inner side here, edge, double click on this edge, and mesh, fill hole. Or simply press G after you selected this edge. Now I want to connect this point vertex here to this one. Okay, so mesh tool, multi-cut tool, let's click on this point. Always make sure that you really connect it to point and not to the edge itself, and right click to close this line. I'm gonna zoom in and really take a look here, because sometimes it's just annoying and it happens a lot when they are not snapping really. See this one, I'm not sure about it yet. Alright, now what about the other side? We have no edges here, and this is where problem starts. So I'm gonna press F8 and I'm gonna try and add edge loops here. Press F8, switch to selection tool, shift right click, insert edge. Alright, so now my guess is because we already created this one, it knows to complete this. Okay, it really knows how to create this through the entire shape from each side, and that's all good with me. I mean, this is exactly what I need. Now I'm gonna press F8, bring it back to object mode, bring it here, camera, shift right click, insert. Let's press 3 first to see what's going on here. So you see what's going on here? This is bad. We need to fix this. So how we fix this? The main problem is not the frame or the body of this. We need to add edge loops here. We need to add one edge loop here, and if we are adding edge loop here, we need to add edge loop on the other side. So let me first add one here, and because this is a inner frame, it can go outside for obvious reasons. So I'm gonna switch back to side view. Sorry, 1 second. Okay, I'm back. So side view. Why side view? Why I've chose side view? Because I need the side view, but I don't know why I don't see whatever I need to see here. Let's go over shading, remove the X-ray, press 5. Well, mine is going crazy. Ah, I hate it. I really hate when it happens. Anyway, we added this edge. Okay, that's all good. I will switch here to this outside view. Gonna go over, let's see, shading, X-ray, and I'm gonna add, I'm gonna put my camera that way, just so it will be easier for me to at least know better where this edge is. Okay, so we created one for this one, and we will do the same over here. Let's turn off this. Let's create an edge. Here I don't need an edge. That's good. I only need this for this part, so that's all good. Okay, that's done. I'm gonna add edge loop here, that way, and I'm gonna add one edge loop here. Okay, press 3. Still we have a problem. Okay, and it's mainly here on the corners. So we need to add back the edges that we already add. One here, and it goes through the entire shape, and this is already good. Press 3. This area is almost good. We still need to have one more edges. Now these are the problematic edges. By the way, I created this edge, but we already have edge for this one. So this one already had this beneath one. Now the problem, we need 3. So we need to add one edge loop here, that way. And this is where a problem starts. Now this is really cool because you can really solve it very fast. What you need to do is create, instead of creating it here, create one in the center. Okay, now you see it doesn't go through the entire shape, and for good reasons. I mean, there's no reason for it to cut itself down here from the middle. So after you added this one, now if you will add a second one, this one will go through the entire shape. So let's see. Well, it goes only through here. I'm a little bit clueless what's happened. Let's do it from here. Well, it still doesn't work. Let's undo that. Let's just create one edge that goes that way. Wait 1 second. 1 second. Um, Let's create it here, that way, from this triangle, okay? This is what I needed to do. So it goes through the entire shape. And let's do the same here. Okay, now the only problem we have triangles, okay? Triangles, we can solve them by connecting this triangle to the other triangle, and that way we manage to, let's see, multi-cut tool. I will add one. Let's zoom in. One click here at the 50 point of this edge. Yeah, well, let's say this one here, and let's add the other one on top of what exactly? Why that happened? It happened there, but it didn't happen there. So I'm a little bit confused here why this happened. It goes through that way. I'm not sure why it's doing this. Okay, I will undo that. Let's press 3 just to see what goes here. Press F8. Let's unselect it. And I will remove the wireframes because I don't want to see the wireframes. I just want to make sure that the shape looks good. Alright, the shape looks awful. And the reason is something here is just doesn't look good. I mean, here we have some problems here. Alright. So when I added this edge here, what happened is, I will undo that. Okay, let's bring back the wireframe unshaded. Just take a look on this edge, okay? On that edge, yeah. So for some reason, and I have no idea what it is, I created this edge. It didn't went through the entire shape for some reason. It went downwards. Gotta make sure I'm undoing whatever I did and making sure that this one, okay, this is the one. So we have added the inner one. This is awful. Sorry, it's happening. It's just happening and I have nothing to do with it. We added this one, right? And look what happened. It went through here and went through here, and it really didn't have anywhere else to go but going through here and meets there. So it's not like went from here and went through there. There's no reason for it to go through there. It just went through here that way. So this is not acceptable. We will need to remove this. Yeah, we will need to remove this. Press F8. God. Let's do this that way. Let's add it again. Let's add one here. So this one, and let's add one here. And leave them there. and we still don't have the inner one here, so maybe this is the answer. I'm gonna add now the middle one, and hopefully when it goes through down there, see it goes through down here, I will be able to connect this to this triangle here, basically. So I don't need this edge to be here. Let's see. I'm gonna undo that. And I press 3 just to see this better. Alright, let's add one here. No, I'm gonna undo whatever I did. Whatever I've done here is simply not the answer. We need to have one here that way. Sorry, we need to have one here that way. Oh, it's already been good, so why does it making my life so frustrating? This one connected this way, this one we will need to multi-cut tool, click here and tell it to go through the entire shape over here, this point, over here to this point, over there. Let's zoom in. Just doesn't work when you are too zoomed, or I don't know, something about the scale of the model. And then it goes through the entire shape over here. Alright, right click to firm this line. Now the problem is, yeah, that's good. We have 3 on top of 3, so on the outside, so that's good. Now let's have a look on what's going on here. See, this is what I mean when sometimes edges are added earlier, too earlier on the process, or you need to always to think it over again and again, and there is no escape by try and error. I mean, this is the only way to fix things such as this. Sometimes I can predict it, but not that good. So one here, we have it. That's good. This one we already have. Let's press 3. Let's see where we have more problems. I'm gonna add one here, as I did. You see what happens? I'm adding this one and it's already a problem. I'm gonna add it on the center, and this is where now if I will add this one, it will go through the entire shape. You see this one, and now this one, so it goes through the entire shape only because we added this one here. Okay, now you can see it's also not really the same level, so what I suggest you is double click on this edge. Hopefully it will loop select it, shift right click. Yeah, well, you know what, shift right click, slide edge tool, slide it a little bit up. No, undo that. Simply switch to scale tool and push this downwards until this cube meets the bluish. Don't go over, just at the same center, and then do it again, and that's all good. Now shift right click, slide edge. Let's see if the slide will work perfectly this time. No, it's not. No, it's not. Now something bothers me because it should have created this edge here. For some reason, it's like this hedge has been added or not, I'm not sure. So I will bring this up and take a look. No, it didn't. We will need to complete this. It goes through the outside, but from the inside it then didn't went through. So I'm gonna go over mesh tool, multi-cut tool, zoom in here, click on this vertex and go all the way here and click on this edge. Alright, I have to do this that way. Trying to make this look as it should. I mean, same alignment. If it doesn't work for you that good, undo and then right click. Okay, let's say this is good. Okay, that's good. Now, the reason that I had to add this here is also because this is already a triangle, right? If this is a triangle, we need to break it and make it sure that it's quad. So this is why I added also this edge here. And basically this is why things such as this happening, because it was a try. And whenever you try to add edge loops into a portion that has this try, this is what happened. I will have to pause for a second. Okay, so let's continue this. I'm gonna grab this edge. I want it in the middle. So shift right click, slide, and let's slide it somewhere more appropriate. Let's say here is good. I think, I'm not sure. I'm trying. Press F8. Let's press 3 and see what's going on here. So it looks like it's something is wrong here, but it's only the wireframes, so don't worry. Shift, wireframes. See, the shape looks fair enough good here. I mean, there are some weird stuff going on here and here, but this kind of stuff you can expect from, you know, shapes that are welded or something. So don't get hard on yourself with this one. What I do suggest that you will grab this vertex. You know what? Doesn't matter. It looks good that way, so I have no reason to play with this. I just want to make sure that something here. Yeah, this one doesn't look like those should be here. I mean, it should just got angled for some reason. That way it's better. Let's see up above here. Alright, that's good. Press F8. Okay, I think I will wrap this part of the tutorial because this is really a little bit too much. But let's just try something. I'm gonna add 2 more edge loops as we did earlier here. Press 3, that's good. And I will add 1 more edge loop here. And that's will fix this problem we had earlier. So press F8 and you can see that now it looks much better. Okay, so save this file, please. Save scene as. I'm going to save it as 22. I don't know what's your number, but save it. And we will continue at the next part. Sorry for all the problems that been here. I don't know, sometimes things are not just going the same way that I think, or I just don't remember everything. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now, and we will continue at the next part. Thank you for watching and following, and don't forget to subscribe or whatever if you are not already. And yeah, that's it. Have a good day. Bye.